When the summer months roll around and all of Europe's top football leagues have come to an end, that is when the excitement really begins for the biggest clubs on the continent. With the opening of the summer transfer window, the opportunity arises for a club to strengthen its squad for the upcoming season, and some teams go on to spend hundreds of millions of euros as they try to achieve footballing glory. Today, we're taking a look at the 15 most expensive transfers in football history taken from the official transfer market website. We'll be focusing on the total cost of the transfer at the time, the impact that each player had on the team that they moved to, and the overall legacy that these transfers have left behind. The world of football transfers is just as complex as it is expensive, so let's go ahead and rank them all. Coming in at number 15, we have Romelu Lukaku's transfer from Inter Milan to Chelsea in 2021. After winning the 2021 Serie A title with Inter with 24 goals and 11 assists, Romelu Lukaku was at the peak of his powers, which led to an estimated €113 million move to Chelsea. At the time, he was Chelsea's most expensive signing in club history, but things quickly went downhill for the Belgian striker. After falling out with coach Thomas Tuchel, followed by a controversial interview with Sky Italia in December, Lukaku ended the season with just 8 goals in 26 Premier League matches, which was an incredible fall-off from his previous season's record. The Belgian powerhouse did not stay in England for long, and with back-to-back loan moves to both Inter and Roma, he eventually signed for Napoli for an estimated €30 million in 2024. Romelu Lukaku's stint at Chelsea ended with just 15 goals from 44 matches, with his only piece of silverware coming in the form of the 2021 FIFA Club World Cup. All things considered, this transfer was detrimental for both the club and the player involved, so it only makes sense for it to go into the F tier today. Moving on to number 14, we have Jude Bellingham's transfer from Borussia Dortmund to Real Madrid in 2023. After 3 impressive seasons in Germany, a 19-year-old Jude Bellingham went on to sign for Real Madrid for an estimated €113 million, and his impact was immediately noticed by everyone. With 23 goals and 13 assists for Los Blancos across 42 matches, his first season in the Spanish capital ended with a La Liga title, the Spanish Super Cup, a Champions League victory, and the UEFA Super Cup. The 2024-25 season was truly underwhelming for Real Madrid as they went trophyless, but with 9 goals and 8 assists in 31 La Liga matches, Bellingham was instrumental in leading Madrid's midfield in just his second season. With the Englishman being just 22 years old, there is still so much left for him to give, and it seems as if he will be an integral part of Real Madrid's core for many seasons to come. With his impressive resume after just 2 years and with his prime years in front of him, this transfer goes into the S tier today. Moving on to number 13, we have Moises Caicedo's transfer from Brighton to Chelsea in 2023. After a breakout season with Brighton and Hove Albion in 2022, the Ecuadorian superstar earned a massive transfer to Chelsea for an estimated €116 million. It was nearly impossible for anyone to come in and replace the hole that N'Golo Kante's departure left behind, and that was immediately noticed by the fans of the London-based club. With just 1 goal and 3 assists in his first 35 matches in the Premier League, Caicedo was dubbed as the flop of the season by fans and pundits alike as Chelsea went trophyless in his first season. The 2024-25 season was better for Caicedo as he played in all 38 matches in the Premier League while also helping Chelsea in their continental efforts as well. But with his only piece of silverware after nearly 100 matches coming in the form of the UEFA Conference League, many people believe that Caicedo has not lived up to his hefty transfer fee so far. At just 23 years of age and with plenty of potential for this transfer to pay off in the future, it can't go any higher than the D tier today. Moving on to number 12, we have Declan Rice's transfer from West Ham to Arsenal in 2023. After spending his entire career at West Ham, Declan Rice earned his big-time move to Arsenal for an estimated €116.6 million in 2023. His first season in red and white wasn't too bad by any stretch of the imagination, but with 7 goals and 8 assists in his Premier League campaign, Arsenal failed to win a single trophy that season. His second season leap was evident to anyone that watched him play, and with 9 goals and 10 assists in 52 matches across all competitions, the midfield talisman went on to win Arsenal's Player of the Season. On a strictly individual level, Rice's development has been incredible to witness over the past 2 seasons, but it is still unclear if he has lived up to his hefty transfer fee so far. At just 26 years old and with his prime years around the corner, this transfer has to settle for the C tier today. Moving on to number 11, we have Cristiano Ronaldo's transfer from Real Madrid to Juventus in 2018. After 9 years of playing in the Spanish capital and winning absolutely everything there was to win, Cristiano Ronaldo moved to Juventus for an estimated €117 million, breaking the transfer fee record for a player over 30. The Portuguese superstar had an incredibly successful time in Italy on the individual scale, but failed to bring a Champions League title to Turin, which was the club's ultimate goal. With 101 goals and 20 assists across 134 matches, Ronaldo went on to win 2 Serie A titles, 1 Coppa Coppa Italia and 2 Italian Super Cups. But without a Champions League title, a massive strain on Juventus' wage bill during the pandemic, and an aging superstar who was past his prime, Ronaldo's impact on the team can only be labeled as a mixed bag of results. Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy in Italy truly depends on who you ask, but all things considered, this transfer finds itself in the B tier today. Moving on to number 10, we have Jack Grealish's transfer from Aston Villa to Manchester City in 2021. After spending 7 years with Aston Villa without winning a single trophy, Jack Grealish earned a massive move to Manchester City for an estimated €117.5 million. Things got off to a solid start for the Englishman as he registered 3 goals and 3 assists in 26 Premier League matches as his club went on to win the title in his inaugural season. His second season in Manchester was easily the highlight of his career as he was a key part of the City side that went on to win the treble. With 5 goals and 11 assists from 50 matches across all competitions, as well as creating 35 chances in the Champions League, Grealish was at the peak of his powers throughout the entire season. But over the past 2 years, his form has significantly declined and his usage has been limited under Pep Guardiola, leading to his potential exit from the club in the near future. Jack Grealish's time at Manchester City truly has been a roller coaster ride, but unfortunately for him, it's only been going downhill since his treble-winning campaign. With his uncertain future at the club and his best years behind him, this transfer has to settle for the B tier today. Moving on to number 9, we have Antoine Griezmann's transfer from Atletico Madrid to Barcelona in 2019. After spending 5 years in the Spanish capital and establishing himself as a club legend, Antoine Griezmann earned a shocking transfer to Barcelona for an estimated €120 million. The Frenchman was brought in to be the attacking catalyst alongside Messi and Suarez, but things rapidly deteriorated for the reigning world champion. With just 15 goals and 4 assists across 48 matches in his first season in Barcelona, many people were starting to believe that his hefty price tag was not worth the money. His second season was much better, scoring 20 goals and grabbing 12 assists in 51 matches as he won his only trophy in Barcelona by winning the 2021 Copa del Rey. Griezmann was then sent on loan to Atletico Madrid for 2 seasons before signing for them in 2023, ending his time at Barcelona with just 35 goals from 102 matches and just 1 major trophy to his name. When you consider the hefty price tag and the enormous expectations of this move, there's no other spot to place it in but in the D tier today. Moving on to number 8, we have Eden Hazard's transfer from Chelsea to Real Madrid in 2019. After establishing himself as one of the greatest wingers in Premier League history at Chelsea, Eden Hazard's major transfer to Real Madrid was completed for an estimated €120.8 million. The expectations were incredibly high for the Belgian superstar, and it was anticipated that he would lead the new generation of Galacticos for many years to come. But with a plethora of injuries, some incredibly lackluster performances on the pitch, and a failure to integrate into the team, his time in Madrid was the exact opposite of what everyone had been hoping for. With just 7 goals and 9 assists across 76 matches for the Spanish Giants, the Belgian talisman won everything there was to win in Spain, but had minimal contributions in all of those victories. When you consider the sheer size of this transfer fee and the output that eventually came with it, there's no doubt that this is one of Real Madrid's greatest transfer mistakes in recent memory. This is one of the most infamous cases of what could have been in footballing history, and this transfer has to settle for the F tier today. Moving on to number 7, we have Enzo Fernandez's transfer from Benfica to Chelsea in 2023. After winning the World Cup with Argentina in 2022 and a solid start to the season with Benfica, Enzo Fernandez completed a move to Chelsea in the January transfer window for an estimated €121 million. His first season in London got off to a rough start as he struggled to find consistent form, resulting in a disappointing 12th place finish for the club. His first full season for Chelsea was an improvement, putting up 7 goals and 3 assists in 40 matches, but he continued to struggle under Pochettino, leading to serious questions about his hefty price tag. His breakout season finally came in 2024 under Enzo Maresca as he recorded 9 goals and 17 assists across 53 matches, playing a key role in Chelsea's victories in both the UEFA Conference League and the FIFA Club World Cup. At just 24 years of age, Enzo Fernandez has plenty of time to prove his worth to Chelsea, but until he goes on to win the Premier League or the Champions League, there will always be questions surrounding this transfer. It will be interesting to see how his time in London plays out, but for now, this transfer has to settle for the C tier today. Moving on to number 6, we have Florian Wirtz's transfer from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool in 2025. After spending his entire senior career with Bayer Leverkusen and leading them to their first invincible season in Bundesliga history, Florian Wirtz earned a summer transfer move to Liverpool for an estimated €125 million. The German superstar has more than proved himself in the Bundesliga, putting up 57 goals and 62 assists across 197 matches for Leverkusen. The highlight of his career has surely been the 2023-24 season when he led his team to their first ever Bundesliga title while also winning the DFB Pokal along the way. But with a minuscule drop in form during the 2024-25 season, it's hard to grasp just how good he will be in the Premier League. Paying €125 million for a 22-year-old who has cemented himself as one of the best young players in the world is a risk that Liverpool are willing to take, but the expectations that come with a move of this caliber are sky high. It's hard to rank a transfer when the player hasn't played a single second for his new club, but purely based on the transfer fee alone, this move goes into the A tier today. Moving on to number 5, we have Joao Felix, his transfer from Benfica to Atletico Madrid in 2019. After a breakout season for Benfica that was capped off with the Portuguese league title, Joao Felix earned himself a massive transfer to Atletico Madrid for an estimated 127.2 million euros. The expectations from the footballing world were enormously high for the young Portuguese attacker, and his title of the next global superstar never truly lived up to the hype. In the 4 seasons he spent playing in La Liga, he never recorded more than 8 goals in a single campaign, which came in the 2021-22 season. The highlight of his time in the Spanish capital came in the 2020-21 season when he played a critical role in winning Atletico's first La Liga trophy in 7 years. In his 4 seasons for Atletico, he managed to record 34 goals and 16 assists across 131 matches for the club, which fell incredibly short of the expectations that came along with his huge price tag. With his time in Madrid coming to a sour end for the club, the player, and the fans, this transfer can't go any higher than the D tier today. Moving on to number 4, we have Ousmane Dembele's transfer from Borussia Dortmund to Barcelona in 2017. After a breakout season for Dortmund that was capped off with a DFB Pokal victory, Ousmane Dembele earned a once-in-a-lifetime transfer to Barcelona for an estimated 135 million euros. His first season in Spain saw him put up 3 goals and 6 assists in an injury-riddled campaign, helping Barcelona win both La Liga and the Copa del Rey that season. Consistent injury issues and limited time on the pitch became the highlight of the Frenchman's time in Barcelona, leading to an average of just 31 games a season across all competitions. Dembele's arrival in Barcelona was also used as a catalyst to reignite their hopes of winning another Champions League title, something that he was never able to do in Spain, while going on to win the tournament with PSG last season. Overall, Ousmane Dembele excelled for Barcelona in the games where he actually did play, but the Spanish side failed to justify the hefty price tag given his injury history. All things considered, Dembele's time at Barcelona was another classic case of what could have been, so this transfer has to settle for the C tier today. Moving on to number 3, we have Philippe Coutinho's move from Liverpool to Barcelona in 2018. After spending 6 years in England where he played some incredible football but went trophyless, the Brazilian superstar earned himself a massive winter transfer to Barcelona for an estimated 135 million euros. Coutinho was brought in as a replacement for Neymar, which were massive shoes to fill at the time and ones that never truly fit the Brazilian winger. His first 2 seasons in Barcelona saw him fail to replicate the form he experienced at Liverpool, putting up 21 goals and 11 assists in 76 matches across all competitions. He was then sent on loan to Bayern Munich for the 2019-20 season, where he ironically scored twice in Barcelona's infamous 8-2 loss over his parent club. 2 more seasons in Spain saw him manage just 5 goals and 2 assists in 30 matches for the club, forcing the Brazilian out of the club and back to playing in England for Aston Villa. Although he helped Barcelona win 2 La Liga titles, 1 Copa del Rey and 1 Supercopa, his form at the club constantly fluctuated and he never solidified himself as the replacement for one of the club's greatest ever players. When it's all said and done, Philippe Coutinho's time at Barcelona did not live up to the hefty transfer fee, so this transfer goes into the C tier today. Moving on to number 2, we have Kylian Mbappe's transfer from Monaco to PSG in 2018. After 2 solid seasons spent in Monaco, Kylian Mbappe joined PSG on a loan deal before completing a permanent move for an estimated 180 million euros in 2018. He had an immediate impact for the French Giants, leading into a domestic treble in his first season on loan at the club with 21 goals and 13 assists across 44 matches. Mbappe's time at PSG is considered to be one of the greatest individual spells in French footballing history, scoring 235 goals and grabbing 91 assists in 264 games for the Parisian side. But with constant transfer rumors circulating about him and his eventual side Real Madrid, combined with the fact that he never won the Champions League with PSG, the ownership's long-term goal with this project ultimately failed. Even though he failed to win Europe's most coveted trophy, he did lead PSG to 6 Ligue 1 titles, 4 Coupe de France titles, and 2 Coupe de la Ligue titles, which is more than enough for him to cement himself as one of PSG's greatest ever players. All things considered, Kylian Mbappe more than delivered on his enormous transfer fee, so this signing goes into the S tier today. And finally, we make it to the last entry on this list, which is Neymar's move from Barcelona to PSG in 2017. After spending 4 glorious years at Barcelona and winning every trophy in sight, Neymar went on to break the record transfer fee after PSG signed him for an unthinkable 222 million euros, which is a record that still stands today. The Brazilian's first season in Paris was an immediate success, putting up 28 goals and 16 assists in his first 30 matches while forming a great bond with Mbappe and Cavani. However, his first season for the club would also be his best, as constant injury issues right before key matches and off-field drama became the new norm for the world-class player. Neymar came ever so close to achieving his goal of winning the Champions League with PSG in 2020, but with a heartbreaking loss to Bayern Munich in the final, it really set the tone for the next few years of his career. While he wasn't able to deliver on PSG's end goal, he did lead them to 5 Ligue 1 titles, 3 Coupe de France titles, and 2 Coupe de la Ligue titles, solidifying himself in both French footballing history and European footballing folklore. He may have never lived up to the giant price tag that was put on him, but his brilliance on the ball and the results he brought with him put him in the A tier today. So there you have it, these are the top 15 biggest transfers in footballing history all together on one final ranking. As you can see, a massive price tag on a player doesn't always translate to success, and there are many different factors that go into justifying an expense of that kind. It's almost impossible to predict how a big money transfer will play out, and whether it's due to injuries, chemistry, or just bad luck, they don't always turn out to be the most successful partnerships. When it's all said and done, these are all elite players who have proven themselves on the world's biggest stage, and these crazy transfers are part of what makes being a football fan so exciting. But what did you think of my biggest transfers in footballing history ranking? Are there any players that you would move higher or lower, and which of these signings has the potential to move up in the ranking in the near future? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more football content, tier lists, and everything in between, and as always, I'll catch you next time.